Hi, we're here with Deane Parker. Him and a couple of his mates have just got first place in the New Zealand Mountain Film Festival Awards for their film, The Waiau-Toa Odyssey. And he's using that film to raise funds for the Waiau-Toa Primary School. So, Deane, welcome along. What's happening on the 29th of July for the Waiau-Toa Primary School?
Okay, the New Zealand Mountain Film Festival, once the festival's finished in Wanaka, they have a selection of films that goes on tour around the provinces. So we decided to host a leg of the tour. So we're showing two selections of films at the Darfield High School on the 29th of July, and to raise funds for the Waiau-Toa Primary School skiing program.
Great, that's a great thing to do. So tell us what they can expect to see about the movie when they go along and see it.
The films are amazing. The first selection is called The Snow Show, and it's all alpine films, skiing, climbing, and yeah, there's a great range of movies there. And then the second session is called The Best of Wanaka, and it's just mainly the winning entries. It's got some mountain biking, some rafting, some paragliding, wingsuiting, just a cross-section of adventure activities.
Yeah. And your movie that you and your friends made, the Waiau-Toa Odyssey, that came first, can you give us a bit of a sneak peek about the plot of the movie?
Sure. So the movie won the New Zealand's best film. So there was actually a film that won the Overall Award, but they got the award for the best New Zealand made film. We set out with mountain bikes and pack rafts. Plotted a route from St Arnaud in the Nelson Lakes to just north of Kaikoura on the east coast.
Wow. And
we basically decided we'd try to do it unsupported with the two vessels. We carried the pack raft, which you can see here on the bike. And then when we got to the rivers, we pumped up the pack raft, which you can see here, and mounted the bike on the bow of the boat and paddled the river, and then transformed back into bikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was kind of like the split between biking and rafting?
It was probably about 60% biking, 40% on the river.
Yeah.
And the most challenging thing that we set out to do was to find out that if we could carry the bike on the boat through challenging whitewater, which hadn't really been done too much before.
Yeah.
And it went pretty well.
You didn't trial it beforehand?
We did have a little bit of practice, a bit of training prior, but we hadn't done any grade 3 whitewater, which was what the conditions were faced with on the expedition. So there was a bit of anxiety there to find out if we could do it.
You mentioned off camera that because of the Kaikoura earthquakes, there was some realignment of the Clarence River. Is that right?
Yeah, we weren't expecting there to be too much disruption on the river from the earthquake, but we came around a corner and there were some quite significant slips that had actually dammed the river and formed rapids that we didn't know were there. And in my commercial rafting career, I'd done the Clarence tens of times, but to come around the corner and to see rapids where there weren't normally rapids was quite a surprise.
Yeah. Oh wow. And we're talking some pretty great high-grade rapid.
Grade 3, which is it's pretty challenging. I mean, the grading system goes from 1, which is flat water, to 6, which is near on suicide. So grade 3 was in the middle there, but
especially with a bike. Yeah,
and a little boat like this, and with a bike on the front of it, it was plenty challenging enough.
Nice. Wow. How long did it take?
About 6 days in total.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so why do you think that your film was picked as the winner?
From seeing quite a few of the films at the festival, I think that our film was quite upbeat, quite positive, had a real positive energy about it. A lot of the films are very extreme. I'd kind of nickname them suffer-fests, that a lot of them were travelling for thousands of kilometres across polar ice caps, for example. And our adventure was a lot more kind of down to earth, 5 Kiwi blokes, set a route, went out there and did it.
So how did the community get along to support the thing that you're putting on there?
On the 29th of July at the Darfield High School, at 3 o'clock we're going to be starting with the snow show, which is about 2.5 hours long. So it's runs from about 3 till 6. We have an hour's break, and then from 7 till 9:30 we're going to show the best of Wanaka selection.
Great.
And the tickets can be bought online through my Facebook page, which is deane.parker.nz.adventure. Or there's 3 shops in Darfield that are selling tickets, and 2 shops in Newfoundland that are selling tickets.
Cool. We'll put it on the screen as well. Okay, so as an average Joe like myself, you obviously know a lot about the countryside. Where would you recommend me going if I wanted to go out on a Saturday, Sunday for a trail ride or even a raft?
It's quite impressive actually. Selwyn District has quite a lot of backcountry in the foothills of Canterbury. The Craigieburn Forest Park has become a mecca for mountain biking, and a lot of Christchurch people go there to ride, and there's easy rides and very difficult rides. The Oxford Forest Park, the Wharfdale Track has lots of great trail rides as well, and also quite recently there's been a mountain bike park developed at the bottom of the Mount Hutt access road.
Okay.
So that's also another good place. And the rivers, pretty much all of the major rivers, starting from the Ashley right through down to the Waimak, the Rakaia, and the Rangitata, all who are intermediate, and also the Rangitata's got a very challenging section of whitewater on it. So it's a lot of people don't see Selwyn District as being an adventure district or area, but if you actually step back into the foothills of Canterbury, you'd be actually quite surprised at the opportunities that abound.
So Deane, what's next in the pipeline for you?
Well, the guys that we did the Waiau-Toa Odyssey with, we're planning a sequel, I suppose you'd want to call it, or another expedition, and we'd really like to try and keep it in New Zealand, and I can't go into too much about where or when it's going to happen, but we'd really like to focus on the environment, get some sort of environmental storyline in it. So just working on that and a route, and hopefully getting some more some support from sponsors to finance it, so we can kind of make another professional film just like the Waiau-Toa Odyssey.
Brilliant. So thanks Deane, thanks for sharing that with us today. Really encourage everyone to get along and support Hororata Primary School and the New Zealand Mountain Film Festival.
Yeah, great.
Cheers. Thank you.